The owl's hooting? Okay, Paul?
Yes.
Okay, we'll have you come to the table there.
Okay.
And name and address for the record, please, as we get going on yours. And then the clerk will have some words for you.
Okay. My name is Paul Digner. You want where I live? Or
Yeah,
the
that's
address
fine.
in question?
Just your address.
1141 17th Street, Henderson, Nebraska, 68371.
Okay.
Now raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, the floor's yours for right now. On the protest number 12 is on our sheet, so.
Okay. Yeah, this is not regarding my address where I live that I just stated, but instead, right next door to us would be 1151, because we own that lot as well. We received an assessment update. Last year, the property was evaluated at $14,014. That jumped this year to $79,669. I'll confess I don't know a lot about assessment, but given that we have not done hardly anything with the property, it seemed unlikely that the value should have gone up that high. Changes that we have made in positive, we did a little bit of landscaping and put a fence around part of the back. In a negative aspect, there was some hail damage since the property has not been. We didn't pay very much for it. We don't have insurance on it because the price of that was kind of based off how much we paid for it, didn't seem worth it. So there had been some hail damage in the past year that we haven't, it wasn't terrible, but it did dent the roof a bit. So in that aspect, it would actually lower the value. I would think with the fence, I don't know positive and negative, which weighs out more. But certainly I wouldn't think that it has gone up in value 5 times what it was last year.
Okay.
Okay, and there's some photos of the property if you want to see them.
This was, as you say, it was valued at the 79,669. After the assessor has obviously relooked at it and the lack of utilities to the dwelling, he is recommending a new value of $17,999, which obviously isn't quite down to your 14, but it is a lot closer than this 79 or 79,699.
Sure.
So, Kurt, do you have any comments on that one?
No, he called, we visited on the phone. I believe this building in the back here, that has electrical to it, right?
From our house.
From
yes.
the house.
Yeah.
But the house doesn't have, it has electrical to it, but it's not hooked up.
To my understanding. Yeah.
Right. And so based on what he provided with his protest and our phone conversation, that's where I came up with the land 6,300, building 11,699, total of 1,799.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions of Paul?
We move to accept the assessor's recommendation on number 12 of 17,000, whatever it was.
17,999.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Bear,
Yes.
Ziegler,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
and Overman.
Yes. Okay, it's set at 17,999,
Okay.
so
The
good
system
luck.
worked.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else you need from me?
No, you'll get a copy returned back to you
Okay.
with that stating all that on there.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, did you have an opportunity, Kurt, in your abbreviated lunch hour to plug some numbers in? Do we want to,
Who do you want to start with?
let's do the, what did you put here? Wilkinson, number 14.
Okay, with his property, we have 7 bedrooms listed. on the camera system, it doesn't really care what the room is for. All it's counting is the square footage. So you could use that bedroom, you could call it a bedroom, you could call it a den, you could
Yep.
call it an exercise room. All the camera system cares about the square footage.
Okay.
The people that care about it being a bedroom are the realtors when they're trying to sell it. So, bathroom wise, changing it from 4 to 3.5 changes the value $4,000. So it doesn't get anywhere near to what Mr. Wilkinson.
So it takes it down to about just over 420 then
Right.
versus the 425.
Right. So,
No, it isn't near the 364. No, but
you did a really fancy bathroom to bring it down that much.
well, we just spent 11,000 on the bathroom today, so
Right,
I don't think
yeah.
it's gonna be that fancy.
No.
What happened to this place?
Yeah.
You know, I do like
I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. how
the
you
work
wanna do
that he did. Unfortunately, when he, like I say, when he put a few of those in there, it's just not, in my mind, it's not a great comparable.
it. Right.
You know, some of the other ones are probably just a little bit closer, to where he's at, but then Quail Cove, would you say that Quail Cove as a whole, did they all see some increasing?
Most that I saw, this one was maybe on the higher end of the amount of increase, but most of them that I went and inquired did see increase.
Okay, because I didn't dig back into that, and obviously, I think we see that if Ann would have left it at the 391, which she obviously felt it was at one time, and not lowered it again, this wouldn't seem as bad.
Well, and looking at it, and Commissioner Ziegler was in my office too this evening, an hour while we were looking at some of these things. I was kind of showing him how the camera system works a little bit. And when we switched over, when we upgraded our manual pricing here in January, so I got sworn in on the 5th, on the 7th, we got a manual update. So I was never on the old Vanguard system. I've only been on the new one. So when they switched that over, every single value went into what was called override. And so we have an override column and we have an assessed column. The assessed column is what it says your value should be based on the information you have in there. The override is what was on there last year. And so it just brought it over to override. So now as we go through the process of our inspections, our annual inspections, we'll go through those each parcel at a time and, you know, make sure everything's up to date to kick the override off. If we kick the override off on Mr. Wilkinson's property, he's gonna be back. I'll tell you that right now, because I can't remember the exact amount, but it was probably another $50,000-$60,000 increase at least to his value. But that's based on the information we have in there. And Quail Cove, I can't remember off the top of my head when they're gonna be in our next inspection cycle, but, he's, you know, been very forthwith in telling us what's all on his house and everything like that. So that's just the pricing manual on there.
Okay,
Now that said, we run an analysis, and if the sales and rural subs are coming down, then that's gonna, you know, we probably have to overall bring values down on some of those rural subdivisions, but that's not the case right now. Those rural properties, they're selling like hotcakes.
is Quail Cove, even though it's its own little subdivision, it is treated as acreage, just like any other acreage would sell across the county?
Let's see what it's classified as here. I think it's classified as rural sub. It doesn't say on here. I mean, you would still take each each sale as its own, you know what I mean? And then, so, but, I would say it would be, Quail Cove would be I think they're their own subdivision. The lakes down by McCool Junction, they each have their own Spring Lake, and what's the other one?
Sachs.
Sachs Lake, they're their own subdivisions as well. So their little rural subdivisions are different than ag res. So, like, we're where Daniel lives out there, that he'd be considered ag res. He's not in a rural subdivision because there's not the development around him.
Right.
So
But these out there are still, they're 4 acre, they're larger parcels.
there are larger
compared
parcels.
to some of the other.
You go out here on Nobes, see some of that area that's in the zoning jurisdiction of the city. Some of that's treated as rural res even versus ag residential. So there's rural res, there's ag res, and then there's these rural subdivisions, so.
Okay. So seeing what you've seen and what you put in, do you have a different recommendation for number 14?
I visited with him and as I said, $4,000 is the best we're probably gonna be able to do on that one coming down. So he'd like to see the $4,000, so that's up to you guys.
So you would recommend 421,973. Right now you're 425,973.
Yeah, let me bring my sheet up here. Number 14. Leave the land the same, take $4,000 off the building, is that what you're saying?
Is that what your chart showed, $4,000 off for the half?
Roughly for a half a bathroom.
Or do you want to use the exact number, or do you want to use the full amount?
You're the Board of Equalization, it's your decision.
Well, I'm just asking what, if that
It's roughly
recommendation.
$4,000.
Okay, so then that would be 421,973. We can use for a number.
So move. Do the
Okay,
assessor's recommendation at 421,973 for
Okay.
the Wilkinson project.
thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion regarding this? Roll call, please.
Ziegler,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Gross,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
and Eichner.
Yep. Now, the grocer,
Grocery property. Commissioner Ziegler was in the office with me. That's protest number 49 for your records. He was in the office with me when we were looking at that one. Best, and I did call Mrs. Grosser, or not Mrs. Grosser, Mrs. Downer.
this is down.
Visited with her about that one. The closest I can get to her that she requested was, I think, 1946. I can leave the land the same. I can get the dwelling down to 21,224 instead of 15,000. So that's 21,224 for a total value of 25,570.
Okay. Did you visit with Patsy about that?
I visited with her on the phone and she was saying anything helped, so.
Right.
So again, that was land the same, dwelling, make that 21,224 and the total 25,570.
Move to accept the assessor's recommendation on number 49, setting the total amount at 25,570.
Second.
Thank you, guys. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Gross,
Yes.
Ziegler,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
and Eichner.
Yes. Now back to the list. You want that separate too? Okay, what I have is 40. So where everybody else is at? Dorothy Taliban. Okay, that one's number 40. We have assessor at 71,109. Their requested value is 61,370. Property has no improvements, over 10 years old. No way it has a value increase this high. And, okay, there it is down here. Leave due to comparable reasons offered by the property owner to be insufficient, so.
Is this our residence?
We get caught up here.
Okay. This would be, I believe it is, Stan.
Okay,
Yeah.
I assume it is, there's a building.
Her residence, yeah.
that's cheap enough.
It's block, isn't it?
We have
It's a
a,
pretty
All
good-
block 29.
it's the legal, all block 29, old original town, Village of Leshton. We removed an obsolescence again. They had a 48% obsolescence.
Why is that?
Don't know why it did. That's why we removed it. The grade was lowered a little bit to kind of reflect it, but, removing that obsolescence from the dwelling, the value went from 46,000 roughly with the obsolescence to 58, so. And there's an improvement on there too, so. Machine building or something, so.
$12,000 improvement?
This might be the one. Or is that Jason's that I have taken up? Because Jason has one too.
He's number 41.
Okay, his went up a lot, I think. Either his or hers went up because one of them has a commercial kitchen in a building.
Her,
I think it's on his.
It might be on his, because she has, looks like just a. It might be on his, that has the commercial kitchen, okay. But yeah, the main reason this went up was because of the obsolescence being removed, so.
Well, you said with the obsolete, with that off, it went up to 58,000, but you have it down at 70.
Well, at least,
Um,
that was in 2022 that it went from removing the obsolescence went from 46 in August of 2022, and then you take off the obsolescence in November of 2022, it was 58. And then that, okay, if you're looking at the building, that's all the buildings, dwelling and detached garages, improvements. So there's your land, there's your dwelling, and then improvements would be, like I said, detached garage, shop, whatever.
on this
On this
block,
part, on this.
there's more than
particular
just a house
part. There's
sitting
more
on
than
this
just a
block.
house, yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, these forms don't let you break it down, improvement dwelling, they just have building on there altogether. So you get to some of your ag properties where it's the house and then it has, 3 or 4 outbuildings, your shop, your chicken coop, your, animal buildings, whatever, sometimes, so.
Okay. Okay, so the recommend is leaving it 71,109.
So, yeah, so this would reflect that building would be, the dwelling would be 58 and the improvement would be 12,000. And it's there's 2 different improvements there. 2 different sheds, one valued at 75, one at 4,500.
And I wonder if they're worth that, but. Okay.
That's probably a square footage, I assume.
Yeah, it's a whole building. Square footage, year built, depreciation, it's depreciated out, so it's. And those are the values associated with those. The one has a square footage of 840 and the other one's 360. Both built in 60, or both built in 76. And one common thing too, I hear when people say, well, it hasn't been improved. Well, the term improvement means something entirely different in the assessment world than it does to the average person. And I understand that confusion too, so.
So this one went up 10,000 over a year. And when we deal with sales, they're not just strictly sales within that community, they're sales.
With that one, we'd probably look around the county too, because you just don't have a lot of sales in
Lushton.
Lushton. Don't have a
Just
lot
like-
of sales in Thayer.
There,
Don't have a lot of sales in Gresham, you know, that's a population of 200 some, so. But like Thayer and, Gresham and Bradshaw and Benedict are all in the same valuation group because they are similar in nature where they don't have a school about the same size. Communities, Waco's in their own group, but they have a school, albeit a private school, parochial school, they still have a school there. McColl Junction's in its own group, Henderson, York, so. And this value's been, looking at our card here in 2019, it was total value was 41, and then in 21 it jumped up to 57, 22, 58, 6, 2023, 58, 9. So, and then 20, we get here in 23, 71. So,
and that's the house you're talking about.
that's those numbers I just told you are the total land dwelling improvements total. So, but the most that was the house that saw the value change.
Right,
As well.
yeah, because the land is 870. Okay, what's your wishes?
Move to accept the recommendation of the assessor.
Thank you, Jack.
Second that.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Sykes,
Yes.
Ziegler,
Yes.
Bear,
No.
Rhodes,
Yes.
and Overmeyer.
Yes. Number 41, Jason Balaban. This one was assessed at 71,923. Make sure that's what yep, that's the same there. And he is asking for 40,649, no improvement on property for over 10 years. House has incomplete interior and construction. Are the reasons?
This is one, for whatever reason, we could not find his property record card in our office. And so the physical cards have notes on them about obsolescence being removed like that, stuff like that. For whatever reason, that never got transferred over to no one updated that on our electronic system. I cannot tell you for certainty why it went up from the buildings from 35 to 71. I am guessing it has to do again with removing obsolescence, because that was a common theme this last fall and this year with a lot of these valuation increases.
When we're comparing these two now, we have two from Lushton and almost identical values on them. Are they similar? You know, we got the land here at 649, so this must not be a full city block, but it must be a good sized piece of ground. But
Lots 1 and 7 and lots 17 through 24 in the south 30 feet of the vacated 5th Street and west 10 feet of vacated alley block 11, old original town village of Lushton. So decent amount of land
right,
there. I'm trying to think back. This is his residence. I think there's another detached building there, so there's more than just the dwelling on this one off the top of my head.
No, the building to be legal to cook is on that place.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the one that, so I'm guessing some of that too then has to do with the commercial kitchen that's there as well.
is it in a separate building?
Yeah.
It's not.
It is?
It is. It's not in the house. I think there's a house, there's a detached garage, and there's a whole nother building with
Right.
the kitchen in it, right, Stan?
Right.
Sound right to you?
This is the one on the west side
Yes.
of the street. Okay.
What was the total valuation last year?
Total out last year was
But to
36,162.
jump at 40,000, that sounds kind of high. But
Well, again, I think that's because obsolescence was taken off of it, so. And they do sell the jams and jellies and canned goods that they do make out of that kitchen too.
Yeah.
So there's some revenue generated there from that building that's not classified as commercial, it's classified as residential, so.
So there's not two residences, there's just two buildings.
There's a
One
house.
residence.
The dwelling, a detached garage, and then the commercial grade kitchen, industrial grade kitchen.
And he says the house is incomplete, that could be true.
Everyone's house is incomplete. I know there was construction on our canvas list, and there's pictures of it over the years in various forms of construction. It's looking better than what it used to, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. But I doubt if it's done, but it could be.
Here is that's what's confusing because this was in his mom's file. This is the permit, that he gave me this permit for food processing, for that address, 465 Gilbert. And it's a permit from the state of Nebraska.
Okay.
There's an old permit, he was probably his old one because he got a new one, so.
So, leave as is due to comparable reasons offered of property owner to lower the value are insufficient. So this is taking a whole lot of jumps in 1 year time, essentially, that it didn't have. And these obsolescence, were these something that were possibly being used to help the value previously?
To maybe bring it down, possibly. I don't know if that's the correct way to use them.
But obviously, once you remove them, it goes up. So
Right.
that sure could have been.
Right.
The reasoning. Could
I'm
have,
guessing.
we're guessing.
I'm guessing.
Okay. Okay, well, there we are.
I can feel with Stan in 1 year and it's nearly doubled. I mean, that is painful, but it hasn't changed since 2018. It has stayed fairly consistent, so needs to be some adjustment.
Well,
I
and,
mean, it needs to be, market value of it is probably not 36,000.
yeah, I don't disagree that you feel for them, but if we've treated every one of these one way,
Yep.
In my mind, we just got to keep going forward
Yep.
in the way that we've treated those. And if we've asked people that you got to give us comparables, you got to give us a
Right.
reason other than, well, I don't like it.
Exactly.
Which I don't blame him for not liking it, but
Yep.
it just kind of is what it is.
Of course, none of us like ours.
No, I mean, I agree.
Let me see here. I got a sketch here. I got my system going here. All right. Now there's the house and two detached buildings.
And 71,000 probably isn't too high, just the idea of going up double in one day here is what's a little bit troubling, but I gotta live with what you guys wanna do, if you wanna do it that way.
And just a FYI, we're gonna see that with the commercials guys next week when we take those up, because they
Right.
hadn't changed maybe once in the last 3 years, and it was, had they gone up 5% every year, the commercial properties, it's those increases from the last time they were inspected, it's about a 5-year increase every year. So I don't need to tell the ag guys about increases every year. The ag guys are always, ours go up all the time, every year. So they sound just like that too, so.
They do. It's true.
Nobody likes it.
I make a motion that we accept the assessor's recommendation of 71,923.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Gross.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
And Over.
Yes. $42. Jessica Hanson, she is asking, for her land and dwelling to be at 135,918. The assessor has it at 209,438. You do have a lowering on this one, on the sheet in front of me here, 137,905, lower value to reflect proper condition, grade of home.
Yeah, it wasn't, I didn't feel like it was graded properly. We should contact it and look at our card. Check where it was graded before. It's probably a little too high, so, making it what it should be, what I felt it should be, that is where the recommendation you see before you. Land stays the same, building 129,155 with a total of 137,905.
I move we accept the assessor's recommendation of 137,905 for the Todd and Jessica Hanson site, book number 42.
Second?
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
And Over.
Yes. Jane Rhodes, number 48 is the next one I have. We have a valuation turned into us at, okay, these are different numbers. 953, 326 is what's recommended.
And that
Yeah.
might be, there might be an addition difference there. I need to bring that up here.
And she's asking for 953, 326. You
Right.
had 962, 534.
So there's been some adjustment already then.
Well, right, and I think that was a typo. I think Kurt's recommendation is to stay at the 962.
It's not what I have down there, Daniel.
I know, but if you
But
add
my
the,
addition's wrong. Yeah.
right,
My land's the same, the building's the same. So yeah, that total number that I have on that recommendation should not be 953, 362. It should be 962, 534.
Right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay,
Like,
962,
throw those in there, make sure you're paying attention.
962, somebody's got their calculator going.
I think what I did is I rolled what she had down as a total number, not
Right.
the land and buildings. Yeah.
What is?
Okay. And it sounds like she will be removing, according to this description, removing buildings, and in that case, at that point in time, that will,
As long as, yeah, we encourage people to, if you take a building off, tell us
Let
right
us know.
away. We'll get out there, take a look, confirm it, and it's off your property record card.
Right.
So,
okay. So, the assessor's recommendation is leave as is.
I so move.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Bear.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Gross.
yes.
Over.
Yes.
that's why we do this, because human error happens all the time, so. I shouldn't say all the time, but it
It
happens.
does happen.
Okay, number 50. We have Jeff Wellman, and it is 1,009,571. And that is the assessed value by the assessor, and he's asking for 834,064. And
This is one where, if you look at the change evaluation notice that we sent out, this is just ag land, so his prior year was 794,347. And his current year is 1,009,571. So when I look at that, that didn't make sense to me, because I know it didn't go up that, ag land did not go up that much. But when you look at these numbers, according to his letter, yeah, it went up 27%. Digging into it, there are some parcels that were combined. So the number of acres in that prior year, that's 794, there's less acres in that value than there were in this current one that I just sent out. So when I broke it down, went through his property record card, broke it down, I think it was 3 different parcels that were made into one. When I put the today's value on each type of farm ground on each of those parcels, it came up to this, what we have today. So
Just over 1 million.
just over 1 million. So, and I sent that to him in an email, and heard back from him today on that one, and he said, okay, that makes sense now. So I think it was
Okay.
just I think it's a sticker shock, but I also forgot, oh, by the way, we added acres to that parcel. So that's why there's more, that's why the value was increased so much.
I move the assessor's recommendation on Wellman's property.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
And if you like spreadsheets, that was a fun one to work on.
Roll call.
Bear.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Ike.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Omenauer.
Yes. Next up, we have number 51. Janet Adams. And we have a value assessed by the assessor of $68,004. A requested assessment of $48,312. Property in Waco appears that your office is attempting to place a 40% increase on the value. Okay. Kurt, you're saying leave as is due to comparable reasons offered by the property owner to be insufficient. Value change. So land stayed the same, house went up roughly 20,000, or buildings went up roughly 20,000. Feel like the grade and everything is right. Was this obsolescence again? Seems to be a common theme.
Yep, obsolescence removed. That's a load grade, below normal condition. It had a 50% obsolescence, so that dwelling went from 23 to 58, so.
Sounds about like you had in Lushton, so move the recommendation.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
The only question, in her letter, she said something about house does not have a furnace, water is not hooked up for vandalism. I mean, do we put any, there's really no way to prove that unless they show us that,
Yeah, and I didn't see anything, so.
yeah.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Bear.
Yes.
Ike.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Omenauer.
Yep. Fairly thick one here. Okay, number 52, Mr. Quipty. Has an assessed value of $105,458, asking for quite a bit less, $65,417.
And obsolescence is removed again.
And you have the value, or the condition, as you go through the pictures, or you've seen the pictures.
Yeah, grade 5 below normal condition. I have no problems with the greater condition of it.
Here, I mean,
Removal of the obsolescence, with the 25% obsolescence, the dwelling was at 77,000, removing that moved it up to 95. Total living area, 2,100 square feet. City of York.
somebody stole your car. It was me, here. You had your car back.
Go ahead, keep it.
And this had went up in the previous year, according to the letter, 2 years ago, had an increase.
Yeah, there was looked like there was a market increase, 2%. I remember Ann saying something about she had to go up on some residential properties, 2%. So, because the department was making her do it.
Yep. And you did say this was like a 5 below normal or something?
Yeah, the grade was 5 and the condition was below normal. 2,100 total living area, square foot.
When you go to a 6, is that almost like uninhabitable?
Yeah, well, I was showing Woody in there earlier. Stop by the office sometime, guys, on your leisure, and I can, I'm trying to even think of, what would be, those pictures I showed you, those examples of like, the bottom is a 630, 6-30, 6 minus
We
30.
went to one with like an open front shed for like a cattle shed, loafing shed,
Yeah.
and then it moved up from there. So
To the E plus 2000s, which would be your, nothing probably in the state of Nebraska even, it's just something you'd probably see like the Biltmore, over in the Carolinas, whichever that's at. But, yeah, 5 would probably be all right on that one.
6 is, like I say, 6 is just not.
6, and there's different grades of 6. There's 6, and then it goes down, up and down from there. Load this one real quick here. Okay.
Hi, ladies.
Okay, oh, here we go, residential. Yeah, so, this one's at a 5, the 6, you have anywhere, you have 6 plus, and then 6 minuses, so the 6 minuses, it goes 6 minus 5, minus 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then grades higher than 6 or 6 plus 5 plus 10 is it. And then the next higher than 6 plus 10 is a 5 minus 10. So it just kind of works its way up that way.
Okay, and this is just at a 5.
And this is just out of 5, yep.
Okay. Because the pictures do look tough. I assumed that 65 wasn't what it was valued at last year. That's just what he's wanting.
So do you remember what the value of that grocery property was? We looked at that one with the
Yeah,
pictures.
it's got it right here. What it was last year?
But what we ended up with this year, as we lowered her down.
Yeah, we went to total of 25,570.
From 39, so it
That
went
was
down.
what grade was at 5.
Oh, we did that one pretty low, 6. That was the lots in it, that's in the 6, and 6 minus 30 is the grade. Get it to where she, well, it needed to be. Now let's bring up this property here. And I apologize, after talking with Woody, he said it should have been nice to have parcel numbers when searching these. It's like, yeah, that's what I use all the time. So, next week we'll have that for you. Were you asking the prior year?
Yep.
Total valuation last year was 87,457.
Okay.
And it was that way last, it was that way that last year. 2021, it was 85. It stayed that way a couple of years. In 2019, it was 60. So it went from 60 to 85 in 1 year.
I've got a couple that are just a little.
So,
Okay.
And what happens if we lowered this, the condition on this one? Like even just one step, what would that do?
the condition is below normal. We could go down to fair. So below normal, and again, this is one of those properties that's an override, so.
That 105 is currently an override?
We take this to below norm to fair. The dwelling would go from 127,063 to 119,647.
Must be on the wrong
Yeah,
one.
is that,
Because we had dwelling at 95 or
Yes,
building.
because that's an override.
Oh, okay.
oh,
The
I see.
assessed value, if we took this out of override and I had the assessed value, the dwelling would be at 119,647. So, or it'd be at 127,063, lowering it from below normal to fair condition, make it 119,647.
Okay.
And I mean, maybe it's in fair condition, I don't know about poor.
Right, it's livable.
Right. What is he asking all told?
65,417.
Which is lower than what he was last year.
Yeah, 20,000 less.
Yeah.
In that part of town. So,
Okay. Well, once again, we're getting more into the value side of things
Right.
versus the equalization side of things. Those are arguments that,
We get,
obviously Kurt will get to have as we're going forward, and if these overrides come off, you're really gonna get people's attention.
yeah, and well, and I'll certainly be working with our camera system vendor as we do that. So we're making sure I'm doing it correctly too, so.
Kurt, your evaluation was 105,458. Make a motion that we go with the assessor's recommendation.
second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, Kelly.
Sykes,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yeah,
Ziegler,
Yes.
and Overmeyer.
Yes. Okay, I got number 53 next. Shandon. Applegarth, number 53.
I
Looks
think
like
there,
we have a-
before we dive in, there might have been an addition error on this one as well.
Yeah, I just have the total 27,350.
Yeah, so that
Oh,
works.
yeah.
I wonder why I crossed that. What did I do wrong here?
Land at 13,897, building at 13,453.
Yeah, so that total does equal 27,350. It was additional error,
Okay.
addition error on my part.
Okay.
Mhm.
Requesting 15,000. Got it, and being prepared to be demolished. Do you have any, you had that information? Did you visit with Mr.?
I did. This one has no electric to it. So. Knowing that information, then we went ahead and recommended that the land stay the same at 13,897.
Right.
The dwelling, actually, after we work it in the system here, the dwelling would be 7,876.
Okay.
Just a skosh lower than what it was the previous year.
Okay.
So a grand total of 21,773.
Okay.
So I would go ahead and make motion that we accept the assessor's recommendation of a total value of 21,773.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ziegler,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
and Overmeyer.
Yes. $54, another one. And this is same Applegarth. We've got a total of assessed value of $356,463, but that's on the sheet, but on your recommendation here, I see $277,373. And he's asking for $237,215.
Oh yes, this was one where I felt, and this is why it's always good to reach out and get those notices. I felt the grade was way too high for this one. It was graded at a 2. So, I brought that back down to a. Bring that up on the system here. Okay, it had it as a grade 2. I recommended maybe the grade be a 4+5, excuse me. And it had a very good condition, which I would call that a normal condition home. So, and that's where we get to the recommendation of
What are you squinting there for?
oh, these I don't know to look at the top or the bottom of my progressives here. Only thing progressive about them.
Yeah.
277,373.
Yep. 27,000 for the land, 250,373 per building.
Yeah, just needed to correct the grading condition on that one.
Okay,
That's all that one was.
thank you.
I move we accept the recommendation from the county assessor for Applegarth's site at number 54 to 277,373.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Ziegler,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
and Overmeyer.
Yes. And we have one for Chase. This is number 60. You had originally at 14,913. You reflected and brought it down to $9,689. That's land 1,400, building 8289. They're requesting $2,400.
Yeah, that's one where the, spoke with them and they provided pictures too, I believe.
Okay.
They have to have water to the house per village ordinance, but they can't have it turned on because there's pipes that are broken, it'll just flow into the
Right.
crawl space underneath, I believe is what she said, so.
Okay. So,
She emailed pictures, maybe we get those. But it doesn't look great, Bob, so.
the land, the building is still, I mean, it's uninhabitable, but it's
Yeah,
just
there's-
there.
It's just there, and there's still value to it. I'd say as far as you want to store stuff in there, which according to the pictures, it looks like there's stuff in there, but certainly wouldn't live in it.
Right.
So,
Okay. So you have that at, like I say, $9,689.
kind of almost like a storage shed or something, really.
Okay.
Move to accept the assessor's recommendation, total of 9,689.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ziegler,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Overman.
Yes. We are getting dangerously close. Mr. Caleb has got a piece of property that you have it listed at 20,000. Let's see, this is number 62. Check this here. 20,386. And he is requesting 16,700. I'm not very good at reading sloppy cursive at all, so I can't see the. Obviously, it's talking about the condition. Okay. Most all these, you've had interaction with most all these protests.
Most of them, I get a hold of them.
And the interaction for the most part
Educational,
goes okay.
yeah. I never got yelled at, got called a name or nothing. Yeah,
Storming out of the office.
no one's storming out of the office, so.
Okay.
Helps me understand too what's going on with the properties if I visit with them, so.
This one you're leaving the same though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I make a recommendation, we accept the assessment of the assessor.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Sykes,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yeah.
Ziegler,
Yes.
and Overman.
Yep. And the second one, which would be 63 for this gentleman.
62.
63. And this one is valued at 20,664, and he is asking for 13,450, and the same poor condition that's being asked for. Land being the same, dwellings not much. Are they inhabited, do you know? I mean, is this rental property here too?
I think these are more, not so much dwellings, but more
His buildings?
buildings. This one in particular appears to be a building, not a dwelling, just an improvement. Looks like there appears to be 3 of them here. Some right out here. There are
So this one's no longer a money generator apparently. It's just a-
This one is auto, it says, we have it as, one building at 37,000, these are both commercial buildings, 37,000, and that's a 17,200, excuse me, 1,728 square foot building. Valued at 37, and then, light manufacturing building, square foot 700, valued at 9,500. And then there's a lean-to, 648 square feet, $370 value, so.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept the assessor's assessment of $20,664.
Thank you. I'll second it. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Brooks.
Yes.
Overmark.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Bear.
Yeah.
Last one for today. You had a change of heart on this one due to grade condition for the dwelling. Originally it was 383,830. You lowered it to 362,649. He is asking for 357,66.
I think that one might be a grade and condition one, yeah. Yep. I didn't agree with the grade that was on there before. If it was a 2+5, I thought it looked more like a 3-10. You kept it at above normal condition. Got some nice brick veneer there on the first floor, so.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
it was correct in the grade of the building.
you talked to Mr. Linen, or you had conversations with Mr. Linen.
I don't know if I remember talking to him about this one or not.
Well, you come relatively close.
Yeah.
Move we accept the recommendation for the Jerry Lynn, property number 64, 362,649.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Bear.
Roll call.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
And Overmark.
Yes. We are at the end of today's list. This joint meeting that you're having Saturday morning here, this is just between you, Mr. Standard, and the commercial, for the most part, commercial property owners.
Yes, it's not a public meeting, it's, if we could have done it during the week, we probably would have done it in my office, but we thought this would be a good venue to do it in.
Okay.
Space to visit with people, so.
And then you will get that to us as soon as possible after that.
Yes, I will already work on the list like you have there today. I will add parcel numbers, Commissioner Ziegler, thanks for reminding me to do that. That makes your guys' life a lot easier when you're plugging away looking at these things.
Okay.
So I'll have a similar list like you had this morning. I'll get that to Kelly. Let her know who will be on the agenda for the 18th. Everyone else is gonna be on the agenda, it's just whether they wanna show up in person or not.
So will we have that list prior to the weekend then? You'll have that out prior to the weekend, so we
I
have
can
it?
get Kelly the list by Thursday of who's, of the protests remaining. And then
So
I
we
can
can,
probably have it to you Saturday evening, who's going to be in person and who isn't.
well, okay, either that or can we get what they protested like we had? Because if we have that, then we do have, you know, like those sheets, we do have the parcel number on those sheets, if we get those sheets. And then we can look through them, and then if one's off, it's just off, you know, come for the next week.
Yeah, we can talk about what you let me know what you want. and I'll get it.
I think, guys, so you have it for the weekend would be nice, wouldn't it? To be able to study and look at.
So you want like what I gave you here,
Uh,
the legal
these?
description and my
What we have left?
recommendation?
Do
or
we-
I
you
can
want,
send you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
if we have those,
you want their actual forms that they file?
if they, yeah, because then we'll have the parcel number on that form.
You should.
You know, it'll be on that form and then we can pull it up on our,
And I'll put it on this other one too.
because she can log it on to Spark for us and then we should be able to go there.
I can
Or I can
put,
just email them all to you.
You can do that too.
and I can put that parcel number on, that can be on the agenda too.
The parcel numbers are on here.
Yeah, on those protest sheets, if we have those sheets, then we'll see what they're asking and where it was filed at.
And they're all on my folders too. It won't be a big deal.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
And this meeting is at 9 o'clock next Tuesday.
9 o'clock. I will also have the over/under value report on that one as well, so.
We're adjourned.